The hunt for a midfielder is just so active. There are so many names of so many different players circulating around and being close to AS Roma. Obviously, Roma can't buy all of them. You know, we will eventually buy one single midfielder. Right now, we're talking the 28th of December. We're still in the month of December. You know, the big deals and the big transfers do happen in January. But today, the 28th of December, Kamara from Olympique Marseille, according to, to the media, according to Sky Sports, after Ainsley Maitland-Niles, the next objective is Kamara from Olympique Marseille. Now, these two players which are extremely different to buy. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is way easier to achieve than Kamara from Olympique Marseille. And just in general, these two players are completely different to each other. Because, if Maitland-Niles comes to Roma, I do think he will barely ever play. He will only play to give Corso a rest and sometimes to give, Cristante and Vertu a rest. Kamara, on the other hand, if you were to join Roma, I see him being more proactive in Mourinho's project. Obviously, though, Kamara does cost more money, and there is the player to convince. Because Ainsley Maitland-Niles said yes, it's the new update when it comes to that deal. Maitland-Niles has said that he's interested in accepting the Roma bid, and that makes it way easier. Fabrizio Romano says that the deal will be closed in the next 24 hours. So Ainsley Maitland-Niles will be Mourinho's first, transfer in the January transfer market session. Now, Mourinho is emphasizing the need of a midfielder. And he's emphasized this over the course of the entire year so far. It's Mourinho, what we know right now is, it couldn't be more clear. Mourinho needs a midfielder. Because what he strongly believes is that if he gets more midfielders, the entire squad depth could improve. Which partly he's right, because, in the midfielder section, apart from, Vertu, Vertu is not in a good form. Cristante never, Cristante it's a hit or miss with Cristante. Diawara, and Villar both haven't convinced Mourinho fully, and Darboe has posted on Instagram today that he's off to the African Cup. So we have a lack of midfielders in a way. Not in a sense that, we need midfielders because they're injured or something, but we need midfielders to improve the squad depth. And as I said before, there are so many names circulating around close to Roma. Thiago Pinto being interested in blah, Thiago Pinto being interested in blah, 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 blah. A few weeks ago, actually, let's start from the very beginning. A few months ago, we had Zakaria. We can officially say that deal is closed. Zakaria is not joining Roma. Then, a few weeks ago, we've had the name of Grillitsch from Hoffenheim. Now, right now, the 20th of December, Grillitsch and Kamara, it's a fight between these two to who will be the next AS Roma midfielder. We might end up with none of them joining AS Roma, but right now, the fight between the next midfielder is between Kamara and Grillitsch from Hoffenheim. They come from two very different leagues, which are totally different to the Serie A. So, it would need time for them to adapt. Kamara, especially because he's way younger than Grillitsch, and obviously the experience and everything. So both of them, if one of them or both of them, in any chance, if the world explodes, were to come at Roma, which I highly doubt, they would need time to get the Serie A rhythm in a way. But right now, the midfielders which Roma are interested in is Grillitsch from Hoffenheim, Kamara from Olympique Marseille, and then a backward section is Ander Herrera from PSG, ex-Manchester United player. It's between these three. Kamara right now is pole position. And I'll tell you why. Kamara is pole position for the main reason being that, Olympique Marseille would ask less money than what Hoffenheim would ask for Grillitsch. Hoffenheim is currently asking 20 to 25 million for Grillitsch, which, to be honest with you, as a January transfer, it is quite a lot. Kamara, Olympique Marseille are asking for 10 to 15 million. It doesn't sound like a big difference, but trust me, I always say this, a club like Roma would spend their lives on bargains. So, we've got a situation with Kamara which would cost less money. Also, another thing, which definitely is possibly the primary factor of why Kamara right now is in pole position for AS Roma's midfielder, is that Kamara's contract ends in June. This is the same situation with Zakaria a few months ago. The fact that Kamara's contract ends in June means that, even if Roma weren't to buy him in June, but were to buy him now in January, his entire value would drop. And two, he's not interested in signing a new contract with Olympique Marseille, which makes his desire to move somewhere else way easier. Unlike Maitland-Niles, who said, yes, that's almost done as a deal. This deal is in the interview levels. It's nothing more than that. The two sides are talking, they're phoning each other. Roma's offering 10 million right now. Olympique Marseille did ask for between 10 million and 15 million. I don't think that will be the big deal. Because I think, even if Roma were to offer maybe a bonus of 2 million euros, they would accept it. Plus the fact that he is about to end his contract at Olympique Marseille would help a lot with this deal. So right now what I would say is Kamara is the closest to join Roma in the midfielder section. And now the last thing, which I think is another big factor, is that Olympique Marseille and AS Roma have interesting relationships, and they've got good relationships. There are clubs which Roma doesn't have good relationship with at all. For example, Manchester United is one of them. To convince Manchester United to give Chris Smalling to Roma, I think, whoever the president was back then, whoever the director was back then, they would literally have to slaughter each other to convince Manchester United to give Chris Smalling to Roma on a permanent deal. They did end up convincing them. But, for example, relationships with Manchester United are not good when it comes to transfers. With Olympique Marseille, they're more than good. By the simple fact that Cengiz Under and Pau Lopez have both gone from AS Roma to Marseille. And a bonus is that Olympique Marseille is interested in signing them permanently, which would mean that money would go to Roma, and that money from those deals could go on the Kamara deal. But the problem with this is that if Olympique Marseille were to buy both of them permanently, they would buy them in June and not in January, meaning that the money would come later and not now. But, I think Kamara, obviously, as you can see from the stats, is a big part of Olympique Marseille this season. He's played 20 matches between the Europa League, which then they got thrown out into the Europa Conference League, and the League 1. He's got 20 matches, which is a fairly amount of matches. The problem with this guy is that the records on the goals and the assists is extremely poor. He grabbed 1 goal and 0 assists in 20 matches he played this season. There's something going on that the players Roma are interested right now have absolutely shit records. Kamara is a big part of Marseille. So him having 1 goal and 0 assists in 20 matches he played is definitely not a good record at all. But he's a young player, and that is why I think it's kind of a good deal for Roma, him being such a young player. He's currently, let me tell you, Kamara, Marseille, he's 22 years old. He's extremely young. So, buying a young midfielder, and then maybe he eventually turns up as the perfect midfielder for Roma, once again links to the simple fact that Roma doesn't need to buy a new midfielder, in God knows how much money. But the problem is that if he doesn't result in a good signing, if he doesn't find himself at Roma, if, he's absolutely bad, then that would be a waste of money. So, just like every deal, I would say that Roma need to think about this deal. The fact that, Marseille are asking for 10 to 15 million pounds, and the fact that his contract is ending in June, I think could easily mean that the two sides could agree on an even lower deal. Partly because of the good relations they had, as I said before. And also, as I said before, Marseille are interested in Pau Lopez and Cengiz there. I would give a new chance to Cengiz there at Roma. But, if Marseille are interested in them and would give a good amount of money to Roma, then I'm up for it. So right now, the midfielder hunt is, the pole position in the midfielder hunt is Boubacar. Is he Boubakari? Because there are so many Kamaras in the football world. No, he is... Yeah, Boubacar Kamara is pole position in the midfielder hunt. There are a few other deals which I want to talk about before ending this stream. We talked about the midfielder section. It's a fight between him, Ander Herrera, and Grillitsch, but right now he's pole position. I want to speak about a good thing. Actually, I want to speak about... There are a few players which I think, for example, might leave Roma. Kumbula is... Napoli is interested in Kumbula because, they've got Koulibaly, who's going to the African Cup. They've got Rachmani, which is not on good form. They've got Juan Jesus, which is absolutely atrocious, scoring an own goal in the last match. Napoli are in search for a defender, and they're interested in Kumbula. But Mourinho said that he wants to keep Kumbula because he can see a good growth in his career at AS Roma. So this deal has slowly faded away. Calafiori might go on a loan to Cagliari. And speaking about Cagliari are also interested in Borja Mayoral. Borja Mayoral is one of those players which many teams are interested in. Cagliari are interested in him because they are a team which, if you look at their team, they do not deserve relegation, but they need to fight relegation because it's not a good thing for them. And having a striker like Borja Mayoral could help them a lot. And also, they're interested to loan Calafiori out. I think, a loan for Calafiori wouldn't be bad. I think he can get minutes in his legs. I think Calafiori is one of those players which, if he plays more, if he has those minutes in his legs, I do think he can then become a big part of Roma. Plus the fact that Spinazzola is almost back. Calafiori and Spinazzola are virtually play the same way. So Spinazzola being such an experienced player and Calafiori getting that experience, someone else coming back at Roma and playing with an experienced player, could help over the course of his career as well. And the last thing is something good. Actually, it's a really good thing. What's his name? Patrick Schick from Bayer Leverkusen. West Ham are interested in Patrick Schick. Now, the entire Patrick Schick situation is a weird one. Because Patrick Schick, a few years ago, was basically a new Juventus player. He undergo the medicals at Juventus, and they found out that he had something wrong with his heart, and Juventus decided not to get him anymore. And that is when Roma got him. He came at Roma, and God, how much money we paid for Schick is actually embarrassing. I think we spent I'm going to tell you now, because it's actually embarrassing. Schick. How do you write it? Schick money Roma. Yeah, Roma paid him 20, 25, almost 30 million. And he came to Roma and was possibly one of the worst players who ever came here. He then got loaned to RB Leipzig, where he found himself extremely well. He got back to Roma, and now Bayer Leverkusen has bought him. But the interesting thing is that Roma and Bayer Leverkusen have an agreement which says that Schick is a Bayer Leverkusen player. He's nothing to do with Roma anymore. Roma have sold him. But the interesting thing is that if Bayer Leverkusen were to sell him, Roma would get 10% interest of the deal, which would bring Patrick Schick to a new team, which is good. Because listen to this. West Ham are interested in Patrick Schick, and they are disposed to pay almost 50 million for Patrick Schick. David Moyes, if you're watching this, tell your president that he's an absolute dickhead to do it. But, West Ham want to sign Patrick Schick and are ready to offer 47 million euros to West Ham, meaning that 10% of that would go to Roma. And, let me get this done. 10% of 0.1 times 47 million is Roma would get almost 5 million out of that deal. It's great. Roma would get that. Trust me, it's good. 5 million from a player who was absolutely garbage at your team means paradise. So that's a good thing, but I highly doubt West Ham will buy him for that amount of money. Plus, at Bayer Leverkusen, he's good. He ends up scoring like 7 goals in one match and then doesn't score for like 4 months straight. He's a weird player. He's a very weird player, but he's got nothing to do with Roma, and this bonus could go to Roma, which is very, very interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, another live stream is over. Boubacar Kamara is in pole position for AS Roma's new midfielder, which would obviously allow more squad depth, but that would only happen after Maitland-Niles comes to Rome. No, forget what I just said. What I'm trying to say is that Ainsley Maitland-Niles will be basically confirmed in the next couple of hours. Fabrizio Romano has said that the deal should be completed in the next 24 hours, and then after that, Roma can point their eyes on the real midfielder. And it's a big fight between him, Boubacar Kamara, Grillitsch from Hoffenheim, and Ander Herrera from PSG, ex-Man United player. And we've got some good news, this Schick thing, and then Calafiori and Borja Mayoral could go away to Cagliari. Calafiori on a loan, Borja Mayoral permanently, but I don't know, that's just rumors for now. Right, let's read some comments. I would rather have Niles, to be honest. He has a good long-range pass like a quarterback, however he spends most of the time on the floor. Yes, Boubacar Kamara is a very good defensive midfielder. I would love if we would get him. Honestly, my 2 favorites for us to get are Grillitsch or Kamara, says Eddie Pegas. Who TF is that? Yeah, I don't follow the League One, to be honest with you. It's such a farmers league, but I don't think he's young. So with young players, the only thing you need to give is time. We need a specialist in defensive mid, someone who lives for defending in the defensive sector of the field. Kamara and Grillitsch are both that. Kamara also can play as centre-back too. Perfect. Get Kamara and Maitland-Niles, and with Lolo and Spina back, we can make top 4. Oh, we wish. I wish. Kamara, Maitland-Niles, Grillitsch, bring any. We love it. What we want is depth, and rumoured players are very good. Bring them on. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here, please subscribe right now. Bottom hand corner, 2 seconds, and it supports us so much. We're getting closer to 2,000 subscribers. So please, before the New Year's Day, before New Year's, subscribe if you're new. Like this live stream as soon as it becomes a video as well. Follow me here on Instagram, over there. A lower score this Simon Show. DM me. We'll talk about Roma. We'll talk about football in general. And I'll catch you tomorrow for more news. Simon out.